Hi, my name is Sarah Kalkman. I'm one of the physical therapists over at Creative Therapeutics in DeKalb, and I'm here to talk to you today about some hip muscle tightness. As teachers, we tend to sit grading papers for prolonged periods, and that can increase your hip flexor muscle tightness, so the muscles in the front of your hips, and that can result in some low back pain. So today I was hoping to show you some ways to stretch those hip flexor muscles. Now we're going to show you 3 different ways to stretch your hip flexor muscles. The first way is if you have a high enough and firm enough surface at home. So sometimes people can use their beds for this technique. So you're going to move to the edge of your bed. You want your hips and pelvis to be as close to the edge as possible. You're going to start by bringing your left knee close to your chest, and I would suggest holding your hands behind your thighs rather than here, so you're not cranking on your knees. Okay. The important piece of this is making sure the knee's up so your pelvis is level to the surface and your low back's not arching off of the table. You can rest your head down on a pillow, and then you can lower your right leg off the edge like this until you feel a stretch at the front of your hip right here. Okay? And then hold for 30 seconds. The next way you can stretch your hip flexor muscles, if you weren't able to find a firm or high enough surface for you to do the stretch lying down, is to use a chair. So what you would do is so we're stretching your right hip flexor muscle. So you want to put that knee and lower leg on the surface of a chair. You can hold on if you feel like you need to for balance. Your left foot's going to come slightly forward from the edge of the chair. What it's important to remember with this is make sure you're not leaning forward through your trunk and not arching through your low back, okay? So you want to keep your lower abdomen tucked in so that your pelvis stays level and does not tilt forward, and make sure your body is not tilting forward as you gently shift your weight forward until you feel a stretch at the front of your hip. Okay, so the third way you can stretch your hip flexor muscles is by kneeling on the ground. So if you get yourself into half kneeling position, okay, make sure this left foot is far enough forward that you're not going to crank on your left knee. Okay, and remember, we're stretching the right hip flexor, so that knee is down. Okay? So just like with the chair, you want to make sure that you're not leaning your trunk forward or you're not arching your back like that. Okay? You want to make sure you're tucking in your lower abdomen so that your pelvis stays level as you shift your weight forward until you feel a stretch at the front of your hip. Okay, so now that you've tried your stretches, if you still have some concerns, some back pain, some hip pain, you can feel free to contact Creative Therapeutics. We do free consultations, 30 minutes with a physical therapist, to address any of your concerns. Happy stretching.